What's going on, guys? I literally had a different YouTube video planned for this week, and I decided to scrap that. I said, screw it, we're going to scrap that because a few trades happened last night that I wanted to talk about in today's video. Now, the first trade that happened last night was the Arizona Diamondbacks getting A.J. Puck from the Miami Marlins. I love this from both sides, but we're going to talk about the D-back side, and then we're going to talk about the Marlins side. For the Diamondback side, they got A.J. Puck. They got another reliever. They got another pitcher that they really needed. Paul Seabold is their closer this year. AJ Puck has kind of been more of like he's not been their closer for Miami this year because they do have Tanner Scott, but AJ Puck has been a high leverage arm for Miami this year in the bullpen. They started the year using him out of the rotation, and it did not go well. They moved him back to the bullpen. Look at these stats on screen that he's been doing so far this year. As a reliever, he's always been a reliever usually most of his career, and then they moved him back to the bullpen this year, halfway through the year. So far this season, 30 and a third innings pitched, 33 strikeouts to 6 walks, a 2.08 ERA, and a .76 WHIP. Just absolutely insane stats for AJ Puck out of the bullpen. I think it was a very good deal for the D-backs. I think AJ Puck is exactly what they needed, another arm in the bullpen, another high leverage arm out there. Now, on the flip side, they did give up quite a bit. I didn't really know much about Davis. I'm hoping I can say this guy's name right. Davison De Los Santos and Andrew Pintar. Two extremely young prospects for the D-backs are going back to Miami. Davison De Los Santos has been on an absolute tear in the minor leagues so far this year. In AAA, he is hitting .325 with 28 home runs, 84 RBIs, and a 1,011 OPS this year. He is on an absolute tear. So the Marlins got something really big back. I believe AJ Puck has like another year or two left on his deal. Actually, I'm not even 100% certain. He might be a free agent at the end of the season. But regardless, I think AJ Puck is a great arm for the D-backs to get. I think that adds a lot more leverage towards the end of their bullpen. They've needed some bullpen help last year. That was one of the biggest things that the D-backs really needed was some more bullpen help. Especially with some of their rotation still really dealing with injuries this year. Eduardo Rodriguez has still been down. Jordan Montgomery hasn't really been the signing that they had hoped for. They've been dealing with some injuries. Even like somebody like Zach Gallen really hasn't been the greatest pitcher for them this year. Merrill Kelly has been dealing with an injury. I think AJ Puck is a great addition for them. Did they give up a lot? Yes, they gave up a lot, but I love seeing somebody like the D-backs go out and do something like this because we look at them last year. They made it all the way to the World Series. They went into the offseason. They made a lot of big upgrades to their team. So far this year, they've been a little bit disappointing, but why not keep going? Why not keep adding to the guys that you did sign in the offseason? Keep adding to the core that you already have with Cattell, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll, if you want to consider him. I know he's been pretty poor this year, but somebody like Corbin Carroll is part of the core. They have one of the best offenses in the entire league, too, so why not add to a weak part of your team? And I think AJ Puck is a great arm to get. Now, for the Miami Marlins, I believe this is a great deal for them to get. They've been trying to trade away a lot of their guys recently. Jazz Chisholm's on the trade block. Tanner Scott, another one of the relievers on the trade block. They've talked about getting rid of someone like Jesus Luzardo. A few other pitchers around the league as well. And I think this is a great pullback for the Marlins as well. Davison De Los Santos, I had no idea that he was doing this good in AAA so far this year. And Andrew Pintar, I don't know much about him yet, but hopefully he can help the Marlins in the future as well. I think it was a great deal for both sides. The Marlins got younger, which is what they want, and the D-backs got the left-handed arm, which is exactly what they need as well. Now, the big one from last night, I was so shocked whenever I seen this. I did not expect Randy Arozarena to be traded to the Seattle Mariners last night. I had all anticipation that he was probably going to go to a National League team. The Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Brewers were in talks with Randy Arozarena as well. But he ended up going to the Mariners, and I love that for Seattle. I love the trade package for the Tampa Bay Rays as well. But when we look at the trade, this is what it looks like. So obviously the Seattle Mariners got Randy Arozarena back. The Tampa Bay Rays receive outfielder Aiden Smith and a right-hander Brody Hopkins and a player to be named later. For the Seattle Mariners, I think this is exactly what they needed. They are a team that is struggling mightily this year offensively. They are one of the worst offensive teams in the league, but their pitching is there. They have a great pitching core. Their bullpen, their rotation is there. They have some guys in the offense that can produce. We know that Julio Rodriguez is a guy that can produce. He's not really playing that well this year. Cal Raleigh is also another really good name for them. That they have a lot of good names out there in Seattle that can produce. They're just really not producing yet, right? I think adding somebody like Randy Arozarena will add some protection in the lineup for guys like J-Rod and Cal Raleigh, so they don't have all the pressure in the world on them. I think Randy is a great great guy to pick up, but I don't think the Mariners should stop there. I think the Mariners should go out and get some more pieces offensively. Randy is a good guy. He's a great player. He's, you know, we know what Randy Arozarena can do, especially whenever the lights shine bright. Randy started off the season extremely cold, but in the last just over a month, since June 15th, Randy Arozarena is hitting .297 with 7 home runs, 9 stolen bases, and a .970 OPS. I believe that Randy Arozarena is a great guy for the Mariners to pick up because he's going to obviously add some more offense. He's going to add some more power, which is what they need. Just any type of offense can help them this year, and I think he's a great guy to go out and get. Now, for the Tampa Bay Rays, Aiden Smith and Brody Hopkins, I believe, are 2 guys to bring back that are obviously probably going to thrive with Tampa Bay. We know what Tampa Bay does. We know what their farm system does year in and year out. They just tend to get guys that might not be the top end of the line type talents, but they can bring the most out of them. And I think Brody Hopkins, I've seen a lot about him on Twitter talking about he is just a prototypical Tampa Bay Ray type player. Brody Hopkins and Aiden Smith were the number 12 and 22 prospects in the Mariners farm system. When you look at those numbers, you might not think, well, they're not really that's not really that crazy high, right? You might think somebody like Randy Arozarena might bring somebody back like Harry Ford, or, some of the other guys that Emerson Hancock, even some of the other top end talent that the Mariners do have in the farm system. But somebody like Aiden Smith and Brody Hopkins, you've got to look at it as the Mariners have one of the best farm systems in the league. Those 2 guys probably would have been a higher up if it was another team's farm system. Say if they were on a team like the Blue Jays, those guys would probably be towards the top of the farm system. Also got to remember those guys are not expected to make to the major leagues until 2026 and 2027. So they are extremely young. They got a few years to develop, and I think that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Rays want, because that's just what they do. They know how to develop young talent. I think it was a good trade for both teams, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Mariners, and also the Marlins and the D-backs trade as well. Hopefully, but by the time that this video is uploaded, there's anything too crazy traded by the time this video is uploaded, because I don't want to have to cancel this video as well and start talking about something else. But on both sides, Marlins and D-backs, I believe both teams got what they wanted. Tampa Bay Rays, Mariners, both teams got what they wanted. I believe all 4 teams should be happy with the trades that they made. And, I think going further, I think the Mariners should continue to go out and get some more offense. The D-backs can probably make a few other moves as well. Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays continue to get younger. We know what Tampa Bay does every single year. They end up trading away some of their top-heavy talent to get younger. You know what they do. They never sign guys to big extensions. It sucks to see Randy go. I know Tampa Bay Ray loved him, or the Tampa Bay Rays loved him. The Tampa Bay fans extremely loved Randy Arozarena. He's been a beloved player across the league. But I do hope that he excels with the Seattle Mariners. I hope he excels in that lineup, but I don't think Seattle should be done there. They have a lot of talent in the minor leagues that they can probably part ways with. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Comment down below who you want your team to trade for at the deadline. It's only a few more days. The deadline happens this week, so I think that last night the AJ Puck and the Randy Arozarena deals is just the start of the domino effect. But anyways, comment down below who you guys want your team to trade for, and I'll see you guys in the next one.